So FIFA World Cup is coming to our area. It's coming to the United States, or to North America, I believe. I understand there's matches in Canada and Mexico and across the US, including in Seattle. And so Reuben's Brews has done what appears to be some sort of celebration beer for the World Cup. They call it Striker. So this is the Striker, and it is an American wheat beer, which seems appropriate for an American homage to an international soccer, football, European football, how do we call it, tournament. And well, let's see how it stands up. Hey, welcome to another episode of Chewing the Brew. So, like I said, this is Reuben's Brews. This is Striker, an American wheat beer, and it appears to be a celebration of the FIFA World Cup. FIFA, the most corrupt organization in the world, if you exclude governments. Probably. Is my libertarian showing there? Possibly. But I think that's a kind of a known thing, proven in a court of law and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, that doesn't dismiss from or detract from the quality of the sport. I don't really watch soccer, American or European football, but I certainly appreciate the athleticism that goes into it. I believe I was 5 when I played it in an organized way, and I was the kid, apparently, as my parents tell me, dancing at one end of the field chasing butterflies, while all the rest of the kids were chasing the ball at the other end of the field. I only have one memory from that, which I suppose, since that was nearly 40 years ago, was saying something. And that was that I was asked to go in and relieve some girl, and I hadn't a clue who it was I was supposed to relieve. But I suppose when you're coaching 5-year-olds, the coach was probably very used to that. Oh, and of course, the bright sun comes out. There's patchy clouds, so if I'm partly in shade at some points and partly just blasted, well, that is what it is. Aroma-wise, smell the wheat. So Hefeweizen's German wheat beers, you generally expect to find, as a result of the yeasts that are used, a banana note, some cloves, some kind of funky notes. American wheat beers, you're going to expect instead to be quite not that. Instead, you're going to expect a wheaty breadiness to the aroma, or a wheaty cracker kind of note, and that's definitely what you're smelling here. There's also a little bit of herbaceous notes. Maybe rosemary? No, not rosemary. Yeah, kind of. It's not like a super identifiable herbalness. It's just there is kind of a dried green leafy note to it as well. Not alive, but dried, obviously. So formerly alive green leafy things that are then, ground up and to be used in whatever it is you're concocting in your pots on the stove that day. Yeah, it's also quite clear, which for a wheat beer, that's going to require filtration, because wheat beers generally have a substantial number of suspended proteins, just as a matter of course. The head is white. It's reasonably happy to come back, but not particularly effusive. And yeah, let's see how she tastes. That's nice. That is very beery. Very, very beer. This is a beer. And it's also, I think, there comes a bit of hoppiness to it. I think this is a really good American beer for someone used to more European beers or non-American beer styles. It doesn't have a super big, bright hoppiness. If your tourist wants to have their IPA, they can get the IPA. Those are going to be just all over the place in the Seattle area. For anybody who wants them, easily found. But if you're trying to represent American beer to a European audience, maybe give them a style that they can find more familiarity with that is still an American style. And I think that's what this is going for. And I think it succeeds at that. So it's got the wheat, and it's kind of a halfway. There's points where it's bready, there's points where it's cracker. There is a bit of yeastiness to it, that kind of bready, yeasty note. But it's pretty mild. But there is a nice kind of funky middle that I think is probably mostly hops, more the earthy side of the hops. There's just a hint of brightness, but I think most of that brightness is from the hops. But even then, it's not a citrus or a tropical brightness like you might find with an IPA. It's not even a pine needle brightness or a fir brightness. It is more of a herbal. And so I think that's more along the lines of those kind of earthy herbal hops that are being employed. And so you have the cracker or the bready notes. You have this nice funky, but it's not the banana and clove kind of sweet funky. It's just a nice wheat beer, and it's got that little bit of something from those hops that works as a real nice palate cleanser. So it's really refreshing. Like for the games are going to be held in like June and July, so it should be pretty warm, or it can be pretty warm, and so more of a refreshing beer can definitely be a good thing, and I think they succeed in that aspect. Yeah, I like this. This is a really tasty beer. There's a lot going on. It's really flavorful without being bombastic or over the top. Yeah, 3 stars. 3 stars out of 4. This is Striker by Reuben's Brews. It is an American wheat beer. I think it's a great example of an American wheat beer. And given that it's likely going to be in vast quantities around the World Cup venues and such in Seattle, I think it's a really good beer for that purpose. Anyways, I will catch y'all on the flip side.